Welcome to the Cannabis Packaging Show, the world's first cannabis packaging show. I know it's been a while, but I'm here to drop you guys a quick message. We've been focusing heavily on sustainable packaging at Contemplo Specialty Packaging, and really the question is, how do we get cannabis brands, and we being an industry, not just Contemplo Specialty Packaging, how do we get the cannabis industry to say yes to sustainable packaging? Because I personally think that if we can get the cannabis industry to say yes, we can get other industries to say yes as well, and that the spotlight on the cannabis industry, I still believe, and I won't stop believing, we can be the industry to show the rest of the world that sustainable packaging can be ROI positive and can be good for business. So I've been working at this. We've been launching all sorts of sustainable innovations, some more successful than others, to be honest. We still are, meeting some resistance to price, some resistance to, I need to lower my packaging costs, and sometimes that's in contradiction with sustainability. Oftentimes it comes at an increase. So we're still doing good, still moving along. We're not gonna quit this sustainability thing. We're just gonna keep chugging along. So how do we make sustainable packaging the norm? That's really the mission, and I believe it can start in the cannabis industry. And there's sort of three things that I'm looking to do. And I want to also share, we're going to be posting more on we have a YouTube channel and a podcast, the Sustainable Packaging Show. We're getting age restricted on this channel because we're talking about cannabis packaging, which is such a horrible thing. So we're getting age restricted. So the Sustainable Packaging Show, though, is where we're going to be posting more, and you'll see this podcast, and it gets to the first of the three things that we're doing. So how are we going to make sustainable packaging the norm in the cannabis industry? How do we get brands to start saying yes to sustainable packaging? One is education. The first thing is to educate. And that's much of what we're doing on the podcast, which is why I would love for you guys to check it out. Search Sustainable Packaging Show wherever you look at podcasts. And really what we're looking to do there is educate on what is sustainable packaging, how to think of sustainable packaging. There's so many types of sustainable packaging. There's so many aspects to sustainability that it can become overwhelming. But my direction, what I've seen work and what I would pass on to you guys is pursue your passion. Many people will disagree as to what is the most sustainable option. My point is that doesn't matter. Just whatever's in your heart that's actually good for the planet. Just don't greenwash. The only enemy should be greenwashing and misleading consumers. We should not be fighting about, this method for sustainability is better than this one. And, that's nonsense in my opinion. So if you listen to the podcast, I think pretty quickly you'll learn how to think about sustainability. And I think providing that education is really important, which is why we're spending our time doing that. So that's number one, educate. Number two, and by the way, if you're looking for sustainable packaging in the cannabis industry, email wow@contemplopackaging.com. We have some great options for all cannabis products. We started Contemplo Specialty Packaging about 5 years ago now to create beautiful child-resistant packaging for every cannabis product. That's never going to change. It's always got to be beautiful because you got to build a brand to be successful. Now we're finding ways to incorporate sustainability into those innovations, and we're doing it better than anyone on the planet. That's in my humble opinion, but I think you'll find it to be true. So that's number one, education. Number two, we got to talk about the money. And when I say talk about the money, we need to create affordable options or show all of you brand owners, decision makers, that this is good for business, that it's ROI positive, that your gross margin might be slightly less by choosing a sustainable innovation, but that your overall market share, your overall pie will increase and cash will increase because you're going sustainable and you're doing what your consumers want you to do. And that is business 101. That'll never change. Yet so many people neglect it when it comes to sustainability. Your consumers want sustainable. 99.9% of them, that's my estimation, care about sustainability. Some more than others, but they care about it, and they'll be happy to see that you're doing something around it that is genuine from the heart and is not greenwashing. That's good for business. So you're investing just like we invest in everything else. You're investing a little bit, investing 10, 20 cents into a sustainable package more, and you're going to grow market share as a result. You're going to take market share from people that are not doing this at all. And there's certain sustainable packages, frankly, that are much more expensive, others that are a little bit more expensive. So we got to make it affordable / explain that this can be ROI positive. So if you're skeptical, go with an affordable option. Go with options that are almost cost neutral. Tell your story persuasively. Be a great marketer. And I think you're going to learn for yourself that sustainable packaging can be good financially, not just environmentally. And that's what we need to be in reality, that is the goal. If it's just good for the planet but not good financially, it's never going to happen. You know, I'm not happy to say that, but it's never going to happen. And the third thing we got to look at is performance. You got to make sure that sustainable innovation has the ability to preserve the product, right? And this is something that the industry is going through in general. How do we extend shelf life of packaging, but making sure that we create a great sustainable innovation? Okay, I'm educated. I know how to think about sustainability. That's the path that I'm passionate about. Okay, wonderful. Is it affordable? Yes, it's affordable. And I can see that minor increase in investment is going to grow my larger market share. I'm happy and I'm on board now. Does it perform, and is it going to keep my product fresh? So that's our strategy at Contempo Specialty Packaging. And we're going to continue to chug along on that strategy. And we're seeing more and more brands, more and more major brands that are leaders in many of the states all across the country, and Canada now as well. So we're making great progress. I don't want to say we're not. It's just slower than I was hoping and expecting for it. But I do this for a living, and I understand that there's many parts of a cannabis business, not just packaging. But I guess the main purpose of this video is to point some attention to the Sustainable Packaging Show. I want you guys to check that out because I'm really putting more of my energy there right now than this channel, again, because we're getting age restricted. That's part of it, but also I want to reach, you know, my vision really is that it's not just cannabis focused. I love this industry. I'm grateful for this industry, but I see the ultimate purpose of sustainability will be that we can do it in the cannabis industry, and the cannabis industry can be an example for the rest of the world of what sustainable packaging looks like that's actually good for the planet. And I feel like this base of consumers in cannabis and the industry is so passionate about sustainability. So it never made sense to me why there's not more sustainable packaging. Why is the cannabis industry an audience where I think unanimously you'd say there's more people passionate about sustainability in the cannabis industry than probably any other industry, yet we find ourselves with more virgin plastic than most markets out there. So something's not connecting, and this is part of what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so that's sort of an update. It's good coming back to you guys. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Check out the Sustainable Packaging Show podcast, and I hope to bring, and just drop it in the comments below if there's any topics you want me to cover there. I want to bring forth education to remove hurdles, right? When something in life you're not moving forward, there's some hurdle blocking you. So a lot of these hurdles I think are mental, whether it's how do I think about sustainability? Can I afford it? Whatever the hurdles are, tell me, and I'll try to create content videos because I've thought about this stuff deeply and researched, and I think I have a good share of the answers, certainly not all of them, but a good share of the answers just from doing it. Not that I'm some genius, although I think we have a lot of great things to say about sustainability, okay? Check it out, Sustainable Packaging Show podcast. Thank you all very much.